Good morning. Today I would like to try my most ambitious project so far. I believe it's my most ambitious. We shall see. And it begins with the Huggingface Transfer Learning Conversational AI repository, which is out here on GitHub /.com/huggingface/transformer-learning-conv-AI. And I'm going to come over here and grab this code here and open up a terminal. And I'm going to go over to my code directory. And I'm going to do a git clone and paste this in here. All right, I've already done this, but I'm doing it from scratch so you can see. And then I'm going to create a Anaconda repository for this. Let me CD in here. And I'm going to do this Anaconda create. I'm going to call it Conda create minus names convai, and I'm going to use this Python equals 3.6. I tried this with 3.8 and it didn't build properly. So I guess you need this version. And I'm not going to do this again. I've already created this, but just hit enter and it'll go. Actually, I'll hit enter. It should say it already exists. Remove the existing one. No, don't do that. Don't remove it. And then once that's there, then we run this pip install -r requirements.txt. And let's take a look. Let's make sure we have that requirements.txt. It's right here, and we can look at that. And I have the bat command installed, a better cat command. So there's not too much that's being put in here. Torch is being put in here. Torch Ignite, Transformers, TensorBoard, TensorFlow, and Spacey are all being put in here. And so we run this. Oops, not this one. Where is it? Pip install -r requirements.txt, like that. And I'll do that. And it says it's already satisfied. All this stuff's already there, which is fine. Okay, so that didn't work, and I can tell you why it didn't work. I'm not in the right environment here. So I just installed all this stuff into the base environment. So I really should remove all this stuff. Let's do this pip list here. And let's see what's in here. Well, I'll do this later. I'll take this stuff out. I don't need this stuff in here. So what did I forget to do? I forgot to do this conda activate. convai. There we go. And now we do this pip install -r requirements.txt, and should be completely happy because I've done this before. Stuff is already in there. So you can see here it says convai in my prompt, which tells me that I am in the right virtual environment for this. Now, in order to make this a little easier, I have something called dir env. installed, and so I would like to let's see. What I want to do is I want to do a copy of /old transfer learning content .envrc, and I want to put that over here. Oops. Why isn't this? All right, so this is not working for some reason. Let's just take a look at this file, because this is just a one-line file. And this is what we need. We need this layout Anaconda convai. Let's just copy this. And now vim.envrc. Oops. Oh, it's here. It says it's here. All right, so I guess the copy worked. I don't understand. So we also have to do an, I think it's a dir env allow. I don't know what this dir envrc is over here, but let's see if this is working. Let us cd ... out of here. Let's do a conda deactivate, and now cd into this guy, and you see automatically we're getting the right environment now. If you don't have this dir env set up, don't worry about it. Just as long as you're in the right environment, that's all that matters. You can do that manually, and I do have a video for setting up dir env. All right, so we're in here. We ran the requirements here, and the next thing we need to do is this Python -m spacey download en, and this is going to go out and get Spacey's English dictionary, and or corpus. I'm not sure what it is exactly. It's their corpus or their dictionary, and it's going to download it. And it's not that large. It happens pretty quickly, and so this is I'm sorry, it's not a dictionary, it's not a corpus, it's a model. So we now have the Spacey model in here. This en under core under web under sm. This is the small one. So there is also an en under core under web under, I guess, lg. Maybe it's there's a large one also. So I suppose that if we wanted to, we could download the larger model. And this is the command to load it, spacey.load en. And we don't need to do this. This is something that this program is going to do for us, AI transfer. And now we can test it. And the way we do that is we just run this. Now it tells you that there's a model. I'm sorry, this is in the installation with Docker section. This is what we need to run, but it tells you here you can train this model now. But this is what we want here, is using this interact script. Uh, where is it? This is for testing. I'm not sure. You can read through this. All I know is that somewhere it tells you there's a model you can download. Oh, here it is. It's a pre-trained model, and you can download it here. But we don't want to do that because then you have to set it up. So the easiest way to do it is you just run this interact.py, and it will download the model and cache it automatically. And this takes a little bit of time, but not too long. I apologize that that's taking a little longer than I remembered. So right now it's downloaded, but it's tokenizing it and it's encoding the data set so that it can be used. And we can come back to this. Just let this run. Now, I've got this repository, this ESPNet repository in my GitHub repository that I cloned. I forked it and then cloned it and then changed it. And what I've added here is this this code here to run as a socket. And so we're going to want to run this chatbot that we're creating as a socket. Now, why do we want to do that? Well, I've got a pretty complex environment already for my virtual assistant, and I don't want to just keep adding more and more Python modules, especially since I may have Python modules in there that will conflict with the Python modules that are needed for this chatbot. So in order to keep these programs separate and in separate environments, I have to run this guy here, this chatbot, as a service. And then I can use it. It'll run in its own virtual environment, and my AI assistant will run in its own virtual environment. And the two can stay separate. They can have different versions of the same packages. They won't step on each other. Now, I'm sorry this is taking so long. When I did this earlier, or a few days ago when I did this, it didn't take this long. It didn't seem to take this long because there was, I suppose I could pause this and come back to it, but I think it's almost done. Well, let me pause it. Okay, so that took, I don't know, 10 minutes or so to finish. And as you can see now, it comes back with a prompt, and you can start talking to whatever this personality is here. So I can say hello, and it'll say how are you, etc., etc. And so you can play with this and test it out. And I'm just going to hit Control C here. I don't know the better way to get out of this. There may be, I thought maybe exit with parentheses or something, but none of that seems to work. I just use the keyboard interrupt. So now that we have this, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install GTTS. And this is going into that same environment here. And so this is the text to speech. I'm going to take a quick look here in my repository for Julie. Or even easier than this, let's go into the Google Speech repository here and go into this guy here. And this shows how to use this. We need this GTTS-CLI, and we're going to use MPG123. So that means I also need to install MPG123. I think this is just sudo apt install MPG123. Now this should already be installed, right? Because if you already have Julie installed or Google Speech installed, this should be fine. And so we're going to need this here. I'm just going to make a copy of this. Let's go here into the code now. I'm going to edit this interact.py, and so we've got two sections here that we're going to care about. So down here should be a while loop. Yeah, this while true thing. This is where we are grabbing the data, and we're going to have to make some changes to here. But we also have this out text here, and down here we print the out text. And so what we also want to do is we want to echo the out text. And we want to pipe this to all of this guy here. And I think what we need to do is we need to put this inside of, I actually am going to go back here into Julie because I think we need to do this from the OS. Where is it? So I think what we're going to need to do here is os.system here. Not iOS.system. Let's just X that out. And that also means we have to go to the top here, and we're going to have to import OS. And while we're at it, we need to import GTTS. Let's see what this has done here. Oops. I'd like to make this a little cleaner here. And then insert, oops, insert here. And what we need to do, I think this will do it for us. This will take this out text, send it over to GTTS, and then save it as an audio file, and then play it for us. So let's test this. Let's make sure this is working. No module name GTTS in line 12. No, what I want is a pip list is what I want. Pip list. Well, we have GTTS here. So why didn't this import? Did I do a typo on here? Import GTTS. Ah, look at this. Insert from GTTS. This is one of those weird Python things here where you have to be very careful of capitalization and such, right? So it's from GTTS, all lowercase, import GTTS. Don't ask me why. It's just, it's how programming goes. People decide on what syntax they want as they program, and weird things happen. So let's test this again here. Python 3, interact.py. Takes a little while to start this up, but that's all right. We're going to run this as a service, which means it's going to be running all the time. It's not going to have to start up more than once in a session. So eventually, there we go.
Hello, how are you doing today?
All right, so she's talking to me, but I'm not talking to her yet. So anyway, that's good. That's the first step. First step is to get her talking to me. Now, let's, we don't need this anymore. We can close that up. Oh, this is what we need. So let's go back here and go back into that interact.py. And we've got to take this stuff from here. And we have to Well, let's see. First of all, let's go down to the bottom. This is the end of the imports. I'm going to open this up and I'm just going to import socket. And what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to run this as a socket program that listens on a port. So it'll run in its own environment, listening to a port. We'll be able to talk back and forth to that port. And so from here, I'm just going to put this stuff in here. This is going to create the socket object. It's going to define the port we're going to listen to is 9988, and then we're going to start listening. So simple as that. Now let's go back down to the bottom here into this while loop, because now we've got to do this stuff here. All right, so let's open this, paste this stuff in, and then let's fix it so that it's all where it's supposed to be. Now, if you're a Vim person and you say that I could do that the easier way, you're right, but I can be a little bit of a lazy thinker sometimes. All right, so right now we've got the connection accepting. It's going to come in and fill up this data variable. It's going to encode it properly. It's going to convert it to a string, and then it's going to close the connection. So in other words, the connection is going to be open and listening until it starts to get some keystrokes. The keystrokes will come in, and then, or the text will come in, and will continue to come in until it gets a return. When it gets a return, it stuffs everything in as a string into data, and then closes the connection. And then because it's in a while true loop, it's going to immediately reopen it and start waiting for the next bit of stuff to come in. And that's it. So now we've got this raw text stuff here. We don't need this anymore. So I'm going to comment this out. Right? This is what we were seeing. We don't need any of this stuff because we're no longer going to be interacting with this from well, let's open a new one here and just do this. Raw text equals data. And then everything else should start working fine. So what we've done here is instead of getting our input from the prompt, we're going to start getting it from our port, right, from our socket. And that should be all there is to this. Let's close this up and see if it works. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to open up a second terminal here. And now you can see this is in the convai here. This one I will get out of here. I'm going to just go here. You can see now I'm in the base. And I'm going to start this up. I'm going to do this Python 3 interact.py. And as before, it's going to take a little while to get started. But once it's started, it's just going to run. It's going to be no problem. And while that's starting up, I'm going to get ready down here. I'm going to echo, who are you? And I'm going to use the NC program. And one of the things we can do is we can look up the, let's see, Linux man page for NC. It's the netcat command. The netcat utility is used for just about anything under the sun involving TCP/IP, blah, blah, blah. So the important thing to know here is we're going to use the netcat command to go to, this is the local host, this is the loopback address, and we're going to go to that port. So I'm going to say,
I am Steve. I love listening to Britney Spears.
all right, so whatever I want to say, do you like fishing?
I like to grill a lot, but I like tanning beds better.
All right, so right now we have this so that it is communicating over the socket. So you can see that I'm in this base thing here. And so now let's go over to Julie here. Now we're in the Julie environment, and I can still, from in here, run this.
I love fishing. I've a lot of money.
Well, I'm glad that I have a friend with a lot of money. That's nice. Anyway, I wonder if I could borrow some money from my imaginary friend here, or my virtual friend. Let's ask.
I love to exercise and I'm high maintenance.
All right, so not only does she have a lot of money, she's high maintenance, which means I'm not getting a dime. All right, now, this is the first step. So we have this thing working in its own environment, and it's answering, you can see up here that it does answer textually within the service, but we're not going to be seeing that. We don't need to have this window open at all. Let's zoom this terminal here. See, we don't need to see that other terminal at all in order for this to work.
I like to spend money on the new fashion line.
All right, so now we want to get Julie working so that we can chat. And in order to do that, let's take a look here at the code here. If I do a vim of Julie, let's come down here a little bit here, and I thought I had to update something here, but I don't. I do want to update the command list. Let's just open this here and say chat. So now one of the things we can do is chat, and we also want to add this to the command list.html. YYP. All right, so now it knows it can chat, but it doesn't know how to chat yet. And so in order to do this, this is inside of the gray matter, I think. Uh, oops, I think it's in here. All right, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's do a what is it, a 10 YY, and then a put here. And you can see now that I have two of these open Reddit sections. So what I want to do is let me delete this word and then change this word to chat. If chat in command, we don't need this. We want to change this to no, this is not what we're going to need. We're going to need a well, let's test it with this first of all. Let's just test this here. Why didn't that start? That's not good. Not only didn't it start, it didn't give any kind of a message about why it didn't start. I don't want more. I keep forgetting to use this. All right, I've got all of the errors going to dev nulls. Let's try it like this. So it doesn't like that syntax there. Oh, okay. I got it. Let's go into gray matter again. And vim juliebrain.py. And this has to be, how are we going to do this? No, that's not what we need. We need, I guess we need go into Julie here. And we need to run this inside of a system call, an OS system call. And where did we see that before? We saw that inside of, I guess, inside of speak in here, my command.py. No, it wasn't here. All right, so we need to do this again, just like before. My text equals, let me just join this. Oops. And then all right, so OS dot system echo my text and pipe it here. Is this going to work? Well, let's see. No, it's not going to work. So the question is, how am I going to pass this text over to here? Well, for now, I'm just going to go back into gray matter here and vim this juliebrain.py. And then I'm going to go down here and get rid of this. All right, this should work now. No, it's not working. Why isn't that working? Well, I'm going to stop this now and go figure this out and then come back and let's see, I'll just pause it. All right, I think I have this solved. What was going on here was that, let me go back in there. This import OS was commented out because basically I'm using subprocess. So this is redundant, but I'm going to leave it in here just for now to do this test here. So let's see if this runs. And no, that's not. So what happened here? Python. Still doesn't like this. Invalid syntax. There's nothing invalid about this syntax here. Unless I need a space there. I may need a space there. Let's try that. What could be easier than just to put a space in? Nope, that's not it. Well, let me try something else. I mean, this absolutely shouldn't matter, but see, look at that. There's a problem there. There's a problem there that I am not seeing because that's a simple echo. Why doesn't that want to run? And let's go in here. I'm going to comment this out again here, and I think I'm going to use subprocess. Let's see what we have for subprocess down here. Let me grab this line here, YY, and let me just go back up here. And put this here. Insert tab here. comment this out. All right, so sub process dot call, and using a pipe. Let's try to set it up this way. Go. All right, so here's a command. And I think all I need to do in here is this. Let's give this a try.
I am Julie Julie. How can I help? To get started, you can say Julie Julie help.
Julie Julie chat. All right, well, we're getting there. Julie Julie quit. Julie Julie stop.
Goodbye, sir. Powering off.
All right, so let's take a look at this. No such file or directory. Echo, do you like fishing? Uh, all right. All right, so I'm going to try this again with OS. And let's put the comment in here. We'll try it without the pipe.
I am Julie Julie. How can I help? To get started, you can say Julie Julie help.
Julie Julie chat. All right, so what this is telling me is that it is doing the echo perfectly, right? It's Julie Julie stop. Julie Julie stop.
Goodbye, sir. Powering off.
So let's see now if we can get this to let's see if we can get the next part working, which is the pipe.
I am Julie Julie. How can I help? To get started, you can say Julie Julie help.
Julie Julie chat.
I do like it a lot.
Julie Julie stop.
Goodbye, sir. Powering off.
All right, that's pretty good. We've got it so that it's talking to me. It's getting the output from the Huggingface transformer conversational AI output, and it's speaking it to me. And it is taking text from the Julie Julie program, and it's passing it over to that socket so that it will generate the output that then gets spoken. So this is good. It's but I'm not talking to it yet. It's only giving me one response, and I've got to fix this. And I can't use the Julie Julie listening and responding mechanism because, for one thing, I have to say Julie Julie every time. So I'd have to say something like Julie Julie chat and then whatever I wanted to say, and then it would peel that off and send it through to the socket. That's not going to work. I'm going to need a separate loop that's going to kick off when I say chat, which is going to continue to go until I tell it to stop. And so I think that that's going to be another tutorial, and I'm going to stop here. But I think we made some good progress. And feel free to play around with this in the meantime. And if you do anything that's interesting, if you write that loop, for example, and you'd like to share it, please just post a link to it in the comments. Stick it in your GitHub and post a link to the comments. I'm sure there are a lot of people who would like to see that. I don't know how long it's going to be until I get around to doing the next part of this. But in any case, I thank you for watching. I hope you learned something and that you enjoyed it. So bye-bye.